You're watching LMCC, your community TV.
Hi, I'm Kellie Murphy-Ringate, Fire Inspector and Public Educator with Excelsior Fire District, and welcome to First Responder TV, your local public safety source, featuring training exercises, safety tips, and much more. Here's what's coming up on First Responder TV. I'll head to Long Lake Fire Department to talk with Fire Chief James Van Eyll in this edition of Meet the Chief. Scam Alert. We'll give you an update on scams that have been targeting citizens in the lake area. We'll introduce you to Sergeant Mark Geyer with the South Lake Minnetonka Police Department on Making a Difference. The Orono Police Department conduct a mock DUI crash at the Orono High School to send a hard-hitting reminder to students about the dangers and consequences of unsafe driving on Safety Source. Joining us today from the Long Lake Fire Department is Fire Chief James Van Eyll. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join us.
Not a problem, Kelly. Glad to be of assistance.
So can you tell us about James Van Eyll and how he became a firefighter?
Absolutely. I started in 1996. I actually had lunch with my father, who was fire chief or assistant chief at Chaska Fire Department, and he kind of surprised me and my sisters and said he was going to retire and wanted me to take his place on Chaska Fire, and the board let me on, and so that's kind of the rest is history. My grandfather before him his dad was a firefighter, and so it's kind of been something I've wanted to do, and so it was just kind of a neat little thing that I could take his spot on his department. So
that's a great story.
And then I got the job here in 2008, which has been a great community and a fun time since then. So
what interested you in becoming a fire chief?
Really, it was what I was missing from my full-time job. I was a paid-on-call firefighter, and I got so much satisfaction from helping people and that part of stuff that I just never received from my job. So then I started looking to see, where could I expand my career to come into the fire service. And the fire chief position, I was chief over in Chaska. This position opened up, and I saw it was a great opportunity. So I threw my name in the hat and was lucky enough to get picked.
Yes. So tell us what's unique about Long Lake Fire Department. What makes you guys different than the other fire departments that surround you?
Absolutely. One of the big things that's unique about us is the newness of our Station 2. So the Long Lake Volunteer Fire Department's been around since 1915. So we're almost 100 years old. And the Station 2 was developed and put in place by Orono back in 2005, I believe, 2004, right around in there. And so that newness blended with the oldness has created kind of a unique department for us. So.
Okay, so next year, is there a celebration plan?
There will be, yes. We've got a committee that's formed, and so we're looking at actually doing it the last Saturday in July, which is our 5K. Okay. So we're going to do it in conjunction with that next year. So.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Now, you're also a member of the Minnesota State Fire Chiefs Public Education Committee. Can you tell me a little bit about that committee?
Correct, yes. The Minnesota State Fire Chiefs Pub Ed Committee is a group of pub ed experts that gather together once a quarter and kind of throw out ideas and come up with common fire prevention messages that we can roll out to the entire state through the State Chiefs Association. They've brought together experts from all across the state, and they kind of get together, and I sit there and kind of control the meetings and just let the brainstorming happen, and it's a lot of fun watching the new creative ideas that come out of the committee.
So the committee has some tools in their public education fleet, I would call it. They have the safety hopper, and they have two kitchen fire safety demonstration units, but there's a new trailer in town, I hear.
Absolutely. We just took possession from the manufacturer Bullock's of a Bullock's fire safety trailer, a kitchen fire safety trailer. It's a completely digital trailer, so it's different than the other trailers that we have, which use, like the kitchen fire trailers, use live fire to do demonstrations, or the safety hopper is more of an interaction with the kids, and then you're able to talk to the parents and give them good safety messages. This one is all digital, and you're able to use extinguishers, and we can go through kitchen safety at that point in time inside an actual kitchen. So,
well, now that's an interactive trailer where the public can actually grab a fire extinguisher and have some hands-on experience?
Correct, exactly. It's not a real extinguisher, it's a digital one, so they use technology to be able to, if you point it in the right direction and how long you put it on there and it darkens down the flame and stuff like that, it's really kind of cool. It's a very safe environment, but yet very real and realistic. I mean, you have heat lamps in there, you have smoke that comes, it's pretty neat little operation.
Could we go take a look at it?
Absolutely, that'd be great.
Hey, let's go. James, now that we're inside the trailer, can you tell me where the Minnesota State Fire Chiefs Pub Ed Committee found the funding for this trailer?
Absolutely. There's a consortium of insurance companies called the FAIR Plan, and they insure high-risk individuals. And they take some of their profits and they donate it back to causes such as this, such as fire prevention type stuff. So that's where we got for the other kitchen fire trailers, that's where we received the funding for this. With the help of Tom Brace, we were able to secure the monies for this particular trailer.
Why is the focus on kitchen fire safety? Because now there's 3 trailers that are basically dedicated to that subject.
The highest cause of residential fires is kitchen fires. That's where we see the most fires in residential structures, and it's also the most devastating. And it's typically the easiest to prevent.
Is it because people are putting things on the stovetop and walking away for whatever reason?
Yeah, exactly. You get distracted. I mean, the kids are like, come here, come here, come here, and you're running out there, and all of a sudden you go back, and now you've got, you know, the grease on fire or whatever it would be, or the, you know, whatever you were cooking in the oven, the pizza that you had in there is now a charcoal brick because you forgot about it for a while. So that's really what we're seeing, and that it's so easy to get distracted nowadays, whether it's, you know, from your cell phone or the kids or whatever it would be. So
the dog,
yeah.
The internet, everything. So if we wanted to give our viewers one good message today, it would be don't leave cooking unattended.
Absolutely, that's huge. If they would not do that, we could limit our fires by quite a bit.
So for other fire departments that are watching this that don't know about the safety hopper and the 2 kitchen fire safety demonstration units and the new Bullocks fire safety trailer, where can they go to get more information on how to get these trailers?
Sure. The Minnesota State Fire Chiefs Association website, which is msfca.org, has all the information under the resources tabs. They can click right on there. It has a link that goes right to that page, and then it comes in with the application and any fees that are associated with it, and it's real easy to basically download it and fill it out and send it in, and then you can get yourself on the calendar. And you can also check ahead of time on the calendars that are there to see if it's open for your date before you do anything else.
So a good heads up for them is if you're planning something for fire prevention, get your date in
Get it in
right
quickly,
away.
because a lot of them are getting used up fast, absolutely.
Okay, so why don't we do a demonstration and show the people that are watching?
Okay, that'd be great, yeah. So what we have is we've got 2 different demonstrations that we can do. We have a trash can one and we have an oven fire one. And so we'll kind of bring, you know, 2 to 3 people in here at a time, kind of go through some typical safety messages about pots and, you know, not having handles over the top and, you know, making sure that you're covering stuff. If there's a grease fire, you want to cover it. You don't want to bring it down like that. You want to slide it across. Those types of things that we can do just simulating stuff here. And then we can go into what happens if the trash can catches on fire or what happens if the stove catches on fire, those types of things. And so the instructor will be talking about all that type of stuff, and then they have a little remote control right here that just basically, it's pretty easy, it's pretty firefighter proof. It says start stove. So if you wanted to start a stove fire, you just kind of start the stove like that. And this is one where it simulates that you've got a fire in the stove. So say that you put something in there, a pizza or something like that, and walked away, and all of a sudden you come back and this is what you see. Now you don't want to open this up, so basically you just come up here and you just reach over and you want to hit the off button is kind of what you want to do, and that should slowly kind of put itself out. You know, really you want to keep the fire contained in there, so after you hit the off button, you want to make sure that somebody's calling 911, whether it's yourself calling before you hit the off button or you're instructing somebody, hey Kelly, call 911, and then you can go do that. So, and that's what happens. So that's kind of the message with the stove fire, or the oven fire, excuse me. The trash can's a little more in depth. We try and use an extinguisher for that, and it's a digital one. So what we can do is we can start the trash can fire. You can let it go for a little bit, see if we can get some smoke rolling up here. Hey, it's working. All right, we like that. And then you can also get the, you know, as the smoke rolls up, you can see it go up, and then you can hit this, and you'll eventually hear the fire alarm goes off, like that. And as it goes, So then we would grab the extinguisher and we'd be able to pull it out, or put it out. So then you just kind of point it at it, and it just sounds like a ring. So you use the acronym PASS, like we've taught all since third grade. When I was a third grader in there, you point, aim, squeeze, and sweep. So, and that really puts it out. And then as you see, the smoke kind of rises to the top, and that's where it goes. So we can get it out of here with ventilation. But obviously, the message that we'll send forth is basically, before you do any of this stuff, you got to designate somebody to call 911, or you call 911 first. Go get the extinguisher, and then you come back. So.
Very neat.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's a great tool. I can't wait to get it out into the public and start doing at the festivals and people's open houses and fire prevention days and stuff like that. So.
Because the more fires we can prevent, the more lives we can save.
Exactly.
Tell us about Long Lake Fire and some of the public events, public safety events you have coming up.
Absolutely. We have, usually in the springtime around mid-April, we'll do our pancake breakfast. We have a 5K that's the end of July, which just happened. And now we've got Kids Day coming up. So that'll be October 6th. We'll have it here at Station 1. It'll start about 5 o'clock. We'll do fire truck rides. Kids will be able to come here and use a fire hose, and we'll have some great interactive stuff for the parents and the kids to be able to do. So that's kind of the first full Monday, or the first Monday of October is when we're having it. So.
How can people get more information on the events that are coming up?
We put a lot of our stuff on our webpage, longlakefire.org. We have a calendar up there that'll explain a lot of the stuff that we've got coming up. We also have a Facebook page. Molly Rice, she's our president of our Slow Burn Brigade. She takes care of all the social media stuff along with our Twitter account. She does a great job. So those are great resources for people that are interested to see what we've got coming up.
Thanks so much for joining us today and taking time out of what I know a fire chief's very busy schedule. Thank you again, James.
Not a problem, Kelly. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
First Responder TV will be back right after this short break.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message.
The Lake Minnetonka Communications Commission, located in Spring Park, Minnesota, offers free television production classes. You heard it right. Free. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help bring your idea to the big screen.
Why, thank you. We are very friendly and knowledgeable.
From studio lighting and nonlinear editing to on-location shooting, we'll guide you down the path you need to succeed. Hurry in, folks. An opportunity this good won't last forever.
Different words describe different people. But in the eyes of the law, there's one that fits us all. Human right number 7. We're all equal before the law. What are human rights? Find out at youthforhumanrights.org.
Welcome back to First Responder TV. It's time for Scam Alert. This segment alerts the public on scams that have been reported to local police departments.
Local police departments have recently received reports of a phone scam. In this scam, the caller says that they were in an accident and requests that the victim call *72 followed by a phone number. However, *72 activates call forwarding, so future calls to the victim will go to the number provided by the scam artist. This allows scammers to make collect or third-party calls that are charged to the victim. *72 is the sequence most commonly used for call forwarding, but be aware that some phone service providers may use different sequences for this feature. Check with your phone service provider to see if you are signed up for this service, and if you don't need and can cancel it, do so, and you will not be vulnerable to this scam. You should also advise your neighbors of this scam. Often these scammers will start dialing numbers at random, and the first person to pick up is targeted. But if they are picking numbers in an order, they may try your neighbors next. If you receive any calls like this, write down the phone number that the caller asks you to forward to and report this information to your local police department. Minnesotans are reporting a new scam in which they're led to believe they are obtaining employment as a secret shopper, but are instead scammed out of their own money. Usually, starting with a letter in the mail and a callback number, the scammers convince consumers that they will pay them for shopping by sending them a check that later turns out to be fake. The fraudster will convince them to wire a certain amount of the check back while assuring them that they can keep the remainder of the money for their payment. Once the scammer receives the wire transfer, the individual's money is lost for good. Typically, it's after the wire transfer is sent that the consumer discovers the check is counterfeit. Just because a check looks authentic does not mean it is, and even though the bank makes the funds available, does not mean that the check is legitimate. While the funds may be available within days of your deposit, the check can take weeks to bounce. Do not wire money to strangers, and research any unsolicited companies before doing business with them. If you have fallen victim to this scam, contact the Office of Minnesota Attorney General Lori Swanson at www.ag.state.mn.us. Local police departments are advising residents to be cautious of phone callers claiming to be from Publishers Clearinghouse. In this scam, the caller tells the victim that they have won a large sum of money and encourage the victim to purchase a gift card worth up to $1,000 from a store such as Walmart or Walgreens, so their prize money can be deposited onto the card balance. The scammers then instruct the victim to give them the PIN number on the card, which they'll use to drain the balance of the gift card. Always remember, legitimate sweepstakes never require a purchase to win a prize. Publishers Clearinghouse does not make or authorize outgoing calls to consumers to solicit contest entries. If you are a victim of this scam involving a Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes, contact them directly at 1-800-645-9242. Consumers are also advised to contact their local consumer protection officials or the National Fraud Center at www.fraud.org.
When we come back, the Orono Police Department sends a hard-hitting reminder of the dangers and consequences of unsafe driving on Safety Source. But first, we'd like to spotlight a member of the community that goes above and beyond in our next segment, Making a Difference. This month, it's South Lake Minnetonka Police Department Sergeant Mark Geyer.
It's a fun job, and I like the problem solving, and the challenges that come with every day is different. Getting a chance to be outside a lot is always good too. I've been with the South Lake Police Department for about 14 years now. Before that, I was actually a reserve officer here for a couple years, and that helped me get to know the department. They got to know me a little bit too, and it made me realize that this would be a nice place to work. I just like working here with the people I'm with. I'm proud of that. It's a good team here, and everybody really works hard to make a difference and to participate. That's my work ethic, and part of it is, I guess, starting some new programs like the Citizens Academy. This will be our third year doing it, and so it's pretty exciting to have that program going. We get really good feedback in the community. It's a fun class, number one, and that's the whole idea, is to come in and have some fun, learn about us as a department, what our capabilities are, what our responsibilities are, and the whole goal is to better a relationship with the community and the people who live and work here. It's a 10-week program. It's every Thursday night. The first Thursday of after Labor Day is when it starts. We do a whole bunch of things. We cover department history and a tour of the department and the squad cars. We also have a session devoted to detective work. The Drug Task Force comes in, gives a presentation. We also are lucky enough to get the Hennepin County Sheriff's Crime Lab down to put a presentation on what they do when they come out to a crime scene. It's also fun too, because it's not just a lecture or a seminar. There's a lot of hands-on things we do. You'll get to practice traffic stops in the parking lot in a police car and your classmates. We shoot guns down in our range one night. Our qualifications are you have to be 18 or older, and you have to live or work within our South Lake Minnetonka community. So that's Excelsior, Greenwood, Shorewood, or Tonka Bay. We have an application on our website, or you can stop here at the police department and pick one up. We have up to 12 openings, so we encourage people to sign up as early as they can, and we look forward to seeing 12 more students this fall. So it's really a diverse program, and we try and cram as much as we can into 10 weeks. A lot of different things, there's a lot going on, but the bottom line is it's fun, and you learn a lot, and we learn a lot too.
You met someone online.
He's the only person who listens to me.
He understands me like no one else.
He said he cares about you.
He makes me feel good about myself.
He's in love with me. He promised to protect me.
He promised to take you away.
Nothing exciting happened.
I just want to be anywhere is better than here.
Meeting him could be dangerous.
You don't know him like I do.
He would never hurt me.
He's
He
not that
loves
kind
me.
of person.
Did he tell you about the others he tricked into meeting offline?
I want to go home.
Cable access channels are critical tools for local government. They provide important information about issues, services, and programs, as well as local emergencies. They also allow you to watch your local elected officials in action. Through the provision of governmental access channels, our communities are kept informed, educated, and entertained. Where else can you get information about your local government? Make sure everyone has a voice. Support your local government access channel.
With school starting again, the Orono Police Department, along with other emergency response agencies, conducted a mock DUI crash at Orono High School. The purpose of this mock crash was to send a realistic and hard-hitting message to students about the dangers and consequences of unsafe driving.
On April 23rd, 2014, at approximately 8:35 a.m., the Orono Police Department received a call of a two-car crash in the parking lot of the north side of the Orono High School. The Orono Police Department found multiple people injured. One person was already determined to be dead and had been ejected out of the windshield of one of the vehicles. The fire departments used the jaws of life to extricate the people that were trapped in the vehicle and also help the officers with other first aid needs. The North Memorial Ambulance Service responded and found that one person was critically injured. They called for the North Air Care helicopter to respond to the scene to transport the most critically injured person. Several other area police departments also responded to the scene to assist with the crash and investigation. It was determined that the driver of the white vehicle involved in the crash had been drinking and was placed under arrest. The driver will be taken to the Hennepin County Jail, where he'll be booked in on felony charges of criminal vehicular homicide. Our mission today is to help educate the students that drinking and driving is dangerous. Things happen in an instant. Most often, teenage kids, high school age kids feel like it won't happen to me. We want to show them that it is reality, that it does happen to everyone, and what the consequences can be. People get injured, their friend might die. Once that's happened, there's no taking that back. We want them to make smart, good decisions, to be safe on the road, and no drinking and driving.
Thanks for watching First Responder TV, your local public safety source. If you have an idea for a segment, an upcoming public safety or fire prevention event, please let us know. This is Kellie Murphy-Ringate giving you information you can use, share, and to live by. See you next time.